With that said, so feeling this rejuvenation, I am going to go on a dog run, on a little run, and again, listen to my body though, because since my body is, flushing and working right now, I don't want to overdo it. I need to find that balance. So I'm going to do I'm feeling a run and feeling to get my heart rate up. So I'm going to go do that. And then we'll just see where the day takes me from there. Hi, I'm Lauren, the host of the Yogakane Podcast, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hi. This last few days I have actually been on my period, and I took a lot to heart from my conversation with Cassandra Wilder, who was a naturopath that was on the podcast, and her specialty is in women's health and in our cycles and our period. So I'm going to link to that episode in the show notes, but we need to talk, but so I'm a diva. I'm a diva. Anyone know about this? Menstrual cups. So I just got done with my period, and I had a really light one, and I did not have cramps. Okay, well, let's be honest. I had a few cramps, but not like what I've had in the past, and I attributed a lot of it to my conversation that I had with Cassandra Wilder on the Yogakane Podcast. Now, Cassandra is a naturopath who specializes in women's health and our menstrual cycle. And in that episode, which I will link to below, she goes into how, as women, we have 4 cycles within 1 month. 4. Ladies, we are busy, we are moving, we are powerful humans, and we do more than just a period in 1 month. We have a lot going on, and Cassandra goes into all of that into that episode. And what I took away from it was that the more that I understand what my body is going through within the different phases that it has in each month, the better I can plan my life, the better I can prepare for what is to come next. So think about it like this. When you're ovulating, you are out there. You're like, I'm fertile, fertilize me. You are more outgoing, you are more extroverted during that time, and maybe you're not an extroverted person, but your energy boosts. So you are that is a great time. Cassandra says that's a great time to do your more external, hardworking projects that require more energy. So that's what I did last month. She then said, when you get closer to your period, start pulling back. That should be a time where you're wrapping up projects. And then when your period comes, what you're doing on a project level or at a home level is what you need to do to survive. So the laundry, making sure your kids are fed, making sure, you have gas in the car, just doing those daily things that you need to do to have your foundational needs met. so that you can give back to yourself. And so last month, that's what I did. I planned out my calendar using an awesome app on the computer, and at the beginning of the month, I set my goals, and then during my ovulation phase, I was busy creating content, having really fun experiences with my husband, and doing more physical stuff like working out harder, and just riding that energy wave that you have. And I wasn't as aware of that happened until I had that conversation with Cassandra. And then as I got closer to my period, I began to notice the subtle shifts that happened under my skin. And I just went with those shifts. So I honored the shifts that are happening in the body instead of overriding it, which our mind likes to do. It likes to override the body. Like, no, you can do more. What are you doing, you lazy ass? Come on, get going. We need to turn that off. We glorify busy people. And so it is time that we start glorifying doing nothing. When you do nothing, you are still absolutely everything. And that, my friends, is living in your cycle. And what that does is it helps to have the period experience be one that is empowering. So another thing that I did during that time was, during the last month, is I adjusted my diet. And I didn't adjust my diet to diet. I adjusted my diet for the sake of seeing what I was eating and how it reacts to my body and my emotions. So I tracked it on an app called Foodly. It's a free app, and it was just kind of nice to see what I was eating and how my body responded. And so that was really helpful. I also pulled back a lot on ice cream and sweets, and I also stopped drinking as well. So I think that all of that kind of combined helped my period to not be as intense and take over my life, because I don't know about you, but my periods love to take over. Usually I need a day off because it was so hard, and my periods just hurt really bad. So this last period was different. It was actually a few days late. It was a lot lighter, and instead of having period cramps, I had more of like a gassy kind of cramp, which was weird, which I haven't had. So I'm going to talk to Cassandra about that and kind of see what that was all about. But what I kind of chop it up to is that I did a lot of good stuff for myself this last month. I listened to my body. I loved on it. I let it be what it was without trying to make it be something that it wasn't. And I think my menstrual cycle was just like catching up with that. It's like, whoa. Yeah. So, and then another thing that I learned from my conversation with Cassandra is that pads have estrogen in it, and that can throw off something in our hormones. So she encouraged using more organic pads or a menstrual cup. And I'm not a big fan of these. I'm going to keep trying them, but I think my good friend Noelle said it best, that these need to be made for each of us, because we are beautifully and uniquely designed down there. Am I right, ladies? Each of us have our own thing going on, and these need to be tailor-made, which is how each of us are made. So that was my my period. And the interesting thing is that the day of my period, when I woke up, I was like rejuvenated. I felt filled with life and movement and wanting to go, and that was a really cool feeling. Usually, I'm like more lethargic, really tired, because my body's working so hard to push that out. So that was a really cool thing. And then one final note that I'll leave with you is that Cassandra suggested drinking different teas during your cycle. And one tea that I did drink, which was at the later end of my cycle and into this week, is a tea that has lemon balm, stinging nettle, and oat straw. Yeah. I also added lavender and chamomile. So you just get, go to your natural grocers and go to the bulk food section. You will find these items there, I promise. Or order them online. And so you just get them fresh leafed and then, or you get them dry leafed and add about a spoonful or so to a jar. And what this combination of those different herbs do is that it replenishes your body with minerals, calcium, magnesium that we really use up when we have our period. So I'll link to that in the show notes because it actually is a really tasty drink. It tastes like spring. My husband drank it and he's like, oh my gosh, I could drink this all the time. So hey, for you men listeners out there, try out that tea as well. So yeah, I thank you so much for listening to my period journey. I'll keep you updated if you're interested on my cycle next month. I'm going to continue with this pattern of doing Cassandra's moon phase journal, which I'll also link to below, and be more mindful about what I consume and also more mindful about what my body's saying so that I can exist with my body instead of fighting it, but exist in it so that I can live in my cycle and experience this beautiful wisdom that is in each of our bodies. So please check out that episode. I think you will find it really interesting and insightful and empowering, and have you reclaim your period and be proud of your period. And if you have cramps, know that there are ways for you to learn about them and understand them, and instead of fight them, find a union with them because you deserve it. And connect with people like Cassandra who have this insight and this knowledge and education of women's health. So, because each of us are different and each of us needs something unique because we are uniquely made, ladies. So I leave you with that. Take care of yourselves. Namaste and Shanti peace. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this vlog, please subscribe to the Yogakane Podcast YouTube channel and turn on the alerts. Until next time, be well, my friends.